Hi, everybody. It's January 29th, 2026. A lot of us like to talk about getting into the flow or being out of the flow, and this sort of experience where things are just coming to you, or when things are working out, or when things make sense. You know, we call that being in the flow or in flow. But even if things aren't necessarily jagged and uneven, that doesn't mean that we're in a flow. And I'm not saying that it's not important to get into that state of experience, but it's not a good strategy to rely on being in the flow to start creating or start living your life or start doing things. Because while you are waiting for yourself to get in the flow, you are missing opportunities to create when things have aligned. Because no matter how in tune we feel, we can't really surmise when things are in alignment with us. We can't really divine the knowledge of that until we start doing. Because like once you start putting things out there, you will see how they click. You will see how they fall into place or they don't. And it just takes an initial act in order to realize if you are in flow, if things are aligned for you. So I'm not saying like you have to rush and like waiting is a bad thing, but if you are waiting to start or you are waiting to be successful just waiting for things to start flowing, you could be missing opportunities for no good reason, because you can't sense the perfect time by will or by on the spot. So that gets me to thinking about uncertainty saturation. There was a time where my confidence was so undercut that normal things that people did around me, that normal people did, seemed to be extraordinary, because it seemed like they had an extraordinary confidence inside them or bravery to do things that I wish I could do. And it was because I had gotten into the mode of uncertainty so far that normal things were took more thought than they were required to. Like it required more motivation to do normal things, because I couldn't find that trust in my ability in myself. So one of the first things to talk about with being saturated with uncertainty and how to break out of that is becoming naturally acclimated to not needing an answer for everything. Maybe just acting upon motivation, like not needing a definite answer just to secure the faith to go on. You know, many people do things without thinking about it, and it turns out fine. And we do this every day without knowing it. So a definitive answer is not needed. And if you need one, look for it while you are in the act of doing it. And again, this is not about being impatient. It's about learning as you go along, getting the confidence to learn as you go along and as you start doing. Because people will tell you that doing instead of thinking is important, but that's half the story. It's not necessarily the doing that's important. It's the innate act of it's the innate act of faith in yourself to be able to figure things out without knowing everything. And the second thing I want to talk about in uncertainty saturation is it can seep into your trust in your relationships with other people. If you do not have that level of faith to do things on your own, it's going to be multiple times harder to trust other people to help you or to be there for you or to entrust them with the honest truth that you offer them. And so your relationships may suffer from uncertainty too. And it takes a big person to take a leap of faith in somebody else when they don't have it in themselves. And the obvious thing will be to say that you have to start to believe in yourself before you start to trust others. But sometimes that may take a longer time, and you may feel very lonely. You just want to get started. What I would say about trusting other people when you're uncertain is trusting is not necessary. Just try to understand the thought that trust in others is never a static thing. It always wavers. It goes up and it goes down. It gets into the positive and gets down to in the negative. When you are trying to form relationships that are beneficial to you and you don't have the faith, the best thing you could do is start to feed yourself on the positive feedback that you get from being honest. The more that you are honest, the more that you are willing to give your feelings out, it's going to pay back into your confidence. Being honest consistently and sharing honestly with others is going to feed your confidence in order to keep on progressing with relationships and building that trust with people. And the last thing I could say about uncertainty saturation is how to end it. How to end the uncertainty saturation. It is a conscious building of your life. When you first look at your life and you are in a state of uncertainty, it's going to seem like you have multiple things to do, very much to do. It's going to be overwhelming. But if you just start on what you want to start on, not necessarily small or big things, but just start on what you want to start on, what you are more interested in starting on, to consciously build your life block by block, step by step, you're going to gain certainty, and you're going to rid yourself of the lies of all that time of wasting on waiting for the perfect time, or waiting for yourself to build confidence by doing absolutely nothing most of the time. Step by step, block by block, by doing things that you want to do and to build your life, the uncertainty saturation is going to dry up, and you are going to gain confidence. You're going to gain willpower. You're going to gain certainty, and certainty in yourself, and certainty in God, and the certainty of things falling into place for someone who is good-natured. So I hope this helps. Thanks.